Hey guys, it's Angry Admin from angrysysops.com, and today welcome to lab number 12, and in this lab I will show you how to add virtual equipment to your VM. Also, we will talk about the difference between tick and tin provision. So let's start. As you can see, we are already logged into our environment and I have this VM. So if you want to change this VM configuration, it's very easy. Just right click on it and you are going to edit settings. On the edit settings, you see that all the hardware is listed over here. And we can see that that VM has a 1 CPU, 2 GB of memory, 2 drives, and network card, and other components. Now, if you want to add a hard drive or another network card, what you need to do is to click on the Add New Device. Once you click, you have a list of devices which are available to be added. As an example, let's add a hard drive. So let's click on the hard drive. There will be no wizard, however, your new hard drive will appear on the list. It's over here and you can see there is an asterisk. So now you can either use default value of the size of that hard drive or you can change it. It's up to you, it's up to your data store. Also, if you expand that on hard drive, you can choose a data store and the policy and disk provisioning. Now, as you can see, it's a tin provision, but we can change if you have a correct policy to change it to tick provision. The difference between those two, I will explain in a few moments. Now, once you're happy with your settings, you just click OK. And now, as you can see, the hard drive has been added. If OS will see that hard drive, it depends. Sometimes Windows system will recognize the drive, otherwise you would have to go and add it manually. The same for Linux systems. But I will not go through this right now because it's not the subject of this lab. What I want to point out is that the VM is powered off. If you want to add components, more likely you would have to schedule downtime for your VM. There is exception from that rule, and this is called hot add. There's a few components which you can enable that function for. Hot add feature will allows you to add resources for that particular VM without downtime. So what resources can you add is a CPU and memory. VMware also supports hot adding certain devices such as a network card, NIC, and virtual disk. This means you can add those resources to running virtual machine without reboot, which can be handy for various scenarios. It's important to note that not all VMs and guest operating system will support hot add, but I will show you how to enable it. So if we go to our edit settings and let's say we choose a memory, we go to options, and on the bottom we see that this is already enabled. But if it's disabled, you just need to click enable, and the next time you can do it on the live machine. Now, as I mentioned before, there are two types of disk provision. Okay, so this is the tin provision and the tick provision. To explain the difference between those two, I will say this: the tin provision is like, imagine you have a suitcase and you put a pack of clothes for a trip. With tin provision, you don't allocate a specific amount of space in advance. Instead, you start with empty suitcase, and as you packed more close the suitcase will magically expand to accommodate whatever you put into it. It only takes up as much space as the clothes you are actually packed. In the computer terms, the thin provisioning allocates storage space on demand. It does not reserve a fixed amount up front, so it's more flexible and can save the space. However, it's more tricky to manage the space. So let's say you have a 20 gigabyte data store and you provision VMs, and one VM has a 5 gigabytes, so it will take 5 gigabytes of this 20. The next will have 2 gigabytes, so you use 7 gigabytes, and the next can have like a 3 gigabytes, so you have 3 VMs, which altogether takes 10 gigabytes. Okay, now in thick provisioning, in contrast, you are reserving the full space. Let's go back to the example of a suitcase. It can only hold 10 outfits. And even though if you pack only 5 outfits, the suitcase still will take the whole 10 outfit space. So let's say 20 gigabytes data store and you put 10 gigabytes VM on it, but the VM actually takes 5 gigabytes space, it will take whole 10 gigabytes. So this is less flexible, but you know upfront that on the 20 gigabyte store you can pack 2 10 gigabyte VMs. I hope that was clear, but if not, if you still have questions about provisioning or adding the virtual hardware, let me know in the comment section. Also, chat to me over Twitter. My handle is @AngrySysOps. Don't forget to like and subscribe to that video, and see you in the next lab. Bye.